I was not really interested in fashion, because fashion was for me just artificial, was for me just clothings. And as in Germany, and I was thinking on the beginning the same, like they had to keep warm, you know, like Germans saying, well, it's not to be pretty, it's to keep warm, they have a function in clothing. But as I'm a visual type, I like the beauty. So when I started to see magazines then in Munich, magazines about fashion, I saw there's a different work between a commercial fashion shoot and artistic shoot. So I don't know where I saw really the first picture of Horst. I know just my grandparents in Weissenfels, they talked always about, this Horst, he grew up here, you know, in the Judenstraße, and we knew him, and he left in the 20s then to Paris, and then after Paris to New York. And I heard that always the story, you know, like they have been dreamy and so happy that somebody get a big success or has been good in arts. I heard this name, all my children were always thinking, who is that Horst, you know? And when I looked to the photo books then, I discovered his work. And I was thinking, this is that work what they're talking about? I think this is amazing, I can't believe it. And I was telling to myself, it is fashion. If this can be fashion, I'm very interested because it was arts. And I gave them a call in New York. His number was in an annuaire diary like this. And maybe he got very touched because I said, I am grown up in Weissenfels. And he said, yeah, then just come over. And I think I couldn't believe it. So I put all my courage and the money together and I got to New York to meet him. With some pictures, of course, and he said it's nice, and maybe I had to try shoot some, you know, minable fashion picture I did, but he said there's something in it, why you don't try fashion? So it started to work in my mind, maybe I had to try it, and as I was a photographer, a travel photographer, it's different because you are always somewhere. That means you move, and you move in your head. And you physically, you move. So I have worked always over 35mm Canon camera. And when I felt at that time as well, I want to settle a little bit more down. I was already 29 and then my private life changed and I want to move to Paris. So I think it's a good opportunity to get involved in fashion because Paris is fashion. And then I saw haute couture. And then, of course, I saw Christian Lacroix, how he worked, Mr. Valentino, Karl Lagerfeld, and I was thinking, this is not fashion. That's crazy, that's art. It's something really so professional and so talked about details. It's about everything. It's about drawings, it's about film, and so on. And I got very interested. So I started to knock on the door from François Lesage. He was one of the biggest brodeurs for the haute couture houses. He agreed and he said, oh, the sweet German girl, come in. And Mademoiselle Kaitlin, come in. And for 2 years I worked with the house Lesage and I saw this amazing work of embroidery for hours, for weeks. They made amazing stitching work for clients like Yves Saint Laurent or Versace, and then you have it 2 minutes on the catwalk, and I think, what world is this? And that got very interesting. So I switched it over slowly in the fashion reportage, and then I saw the professional people, how it works, how makeup, the huge preparations, and it was not just this outside artificial work what people thinking, because there's a huge part, of course, professional, even though we have never a dress scene on a catwalk, and this was very interesting for me. It was very hard because everyone knows that's a very hard job, and I got very fascinated. And it got very fast and very close to the designer because they felt I'm very interested, not in the glamour, on the work themselves. And 2004, I bought La Chambre, like Horst, and I took the decision now. 2004, I bought it, or 2003, and I worked with it. And this is different because I said myself, I settle down, I put the trépied on it, the tripod, and I shoot. But it's not the same. You had to think before you shoot. So of course everything inside around you change. If you think like you're on the horse to shoot something, it's over, you can't. On the top of this, I choose the Polaroid because it's got to painting. I think I didn't know what I have chosen. It's talk to me. So I battled on the beginning against the camera and the camera against me because it's really something different. And as Horst was my mentor, he trained me so much about what it means to prepare shooting and to prepare the head as well. So I learned a lot about that, and a lot more than about that, the lightening, to set up really a light. So it started a story about being in Paris and to switch slowly over in fashion photography.